time flies by faster than anyone expects. Always moving forward, not stopping for anything. Technology advances faster and faster as the days move on, and as modern gaming looks like this nowadays. I just want to roll back the time to the very first 3D game, Mario 60... What? Mario 64 isn't the first game. It was called Battlezone and was released in 1980. Let's see the footage. Yep. That's a 3D game, all right. There you go, my face. But let's not go back that far. The game I'm referring to is a little indie title called Super Mario 64, a game released on the Nintendo 64, a game console that could truly handle the 3D landscape and designed to do so. I say that last part because apparently there were games in 3D on consoles like as old as the NES. But like this. And then we got this. But enough history lessons for today. The reason I brought up Mario 64 is because of a little game that was introduced to me from a friend. One that pays homage to the retro 3D genre while being beautifully handled with today's hardware. A game called Kidz 64, a retro-style platformer that itches the scratch of an olden 3D era. So sit down, grab a blanket, cover up on this chilly night, and let's get into the game. We start off by walking through the tunnels at a gas station parking lot and start rambling about lucid dreaming and, you know, average goat stuff. But we don't care that we're in a dream. We just want our nachos, baby, and we're determined to find them. And already, the controls in this game feel so good. I'm showing this super early, but I mean, the moment you get out of the cave, it just looks fantastic, and it just, it's just, look how smooth this is. We enter the gas station to go buy nachos, and hey, this isn't the gas station. This looks like an amusement park of a child's dream realm. Oh look, another goat that's approaching me. I hope they can give me the exposit. Oh, they do. And as the side note, I love their designs. I mean, they look like they want to go to a Linkin Park concert back in 2004, back when wearing long sleeves under short sleeves was cool. I used to do that. Also this guy. But jokes aside, she explains that this park was made to train our corn powers. I think. Am I reading this right? What are corn powers? What is going on? Will I ever be able to have nachos? Find out now, I suppose. So the entire park is just a training ground to get comfortable, swimming, climbing, jumping, and you know, the occasional falling and falling and falling and more falling. Did I mention falling? Which, I do love the mechanics in this game. The running, jumping, and wall climbing, they can all be used in rapid succession to make jumps in this game that shouldn't even be accessible until later. I mean, take this room for example. I think I did like 3 things that I wasn't supposed to do. Hell, getting to the room is one of the things that you aren't supposed to do to get there. If I'm correct, you're supposed to climb up to the top and then shimmy your way down and just enter the room that way. But instead, I just kinda went around like that, just like that. And later, when I go into this room, I don't even move the block the correct way. I just did half of it and figured it out. And the final thing that I did, I jumped around an area that you're supposed to come back way later in the game, But after making it up the tower that almost looks like a character from Newgrounds, we go through the red door and walk out the front door of the gas station, which kind of threw me off the first time playing it, but that was mostly because I didn't read the text. And after using your newfound Corn Kidz powers, or the Nufagadu, you embark into sewers to find... And after getting your new abilities, including a ground pound, it's time to move on to the next stage. Aloe's Hallow. Yeah, which is weird, but not, we're not looking too into it. But coming here, we're told that an owl and his people have overtaken the town, wanting to exterminate or displace them like it's good old 1942. So little Seve has to go save them by unlocking more powers to be able to advance further on into this level. And that's what I really like about this game's design, is that everything is in this one level to help you progress this level. No backtracking, no running around, no nothing. Everything is right here. Sure, it's a decently sized map, so it does kind of get a little repetitious, but it's better than just going off to 4 other levels trying to interconnect with them. I like this kind of gameplay. And sure, with a bit of cheese, I did get lost multiple times, and I was a bit confused, but usually Alexis kind of floats in every once in a while and points us in the right direction without saying exactly what to do some of the time. And doing this scratches the 3D platform itch that I had for a while. I grew up on games like Jak and Daxter, where it feels like one big map is all interconnected and weaved into an overarching world. For example, you find out that you gotta get into the church to go to the graveyard, to unlock a button, to get to the top of this building. So we schmoove our way into the church, where we get another ability. The power of not fucking up as bad as we should be. Basically, if you fall from a high spot with the push of the triggers, you get sent back to your last checkpoint. So if you fall past your checkpoint, you don't lose as much progress. Also, I know it's funny to shit on religion, but we don't have to do it literally. But as we move to the top, we get to the graveyard, and these names are a bit weird. Oh, I get it. These are palindromes. Oh my god, they are. We go to the graveyard and we move this boulder to this little spot. This spot moved this little pink platform so we can keep moving on up. Get across this gap where some pigs talk. They mention the bats hanging around above them, and I cannot stress this enough. You hang on the ledge to shimmy to the fucking pipe. Let me tell you that I legitimately got stuck on this section the first time I played, and I had no idea until my friend suggested if this would work. The bat will then carry you up to the top, where you can get your new ability, a drill horn thing. Yeah. With our new drill horn in hand, we're able to explore even more of the map. Right after you get the drill, you get a few new tasks even. The 2 main ones are get the 5 disco balls that got spread around that you have to collect, and also to somehow find a way to have access to a giant house that plays music that the owls hate. Collecting the 5 balls is a challenge. According to the old man, 1 is guarded by dragons. 1 is up on a shelf, just kind of vibing there. 1 is past the level locked door, and a zookeeper has 1. And the last one is up in the bird's nest. As a side note, my favorite disco ball to collect is from the zoo, as the zookeeper tells you that the owls forced him to shut down the zoo, and he wasn't able to get everything out because of the rats. So you just kind of go in there and boring or something like that. Oh,
damn, you fucking murdered just a prisoner.
dude, he just like freaked the fuck out as I like beat the shit out of him.
He had a human scream and you murdered him.
After we collect the 5 disco balls, we can do this fantastic thing of flipping the world, like Mirror World and Mario Kart. But dear viewers, there's a reason for this. Like I said earlier, you had 2 objectives, and the second one is to open this, a house that plays music. and after getting the door opened and getting up to the top, you can wind the music box. But not to keep a murderous puppet at bay, but this goofy prequel of a football installed it backwards. So we gotta find a way to reverse the song, or we go the Futurama way and reverse the world around the box. That way it plays the music the right way and we can finally get into the owl hideaway. But why does he hate the oh. Wow. What a weirdo. So we make our way to the tree and move on to... I climb into the tree, and up ahead, another gauntlet of platforming, swimming, and puzzle solving. I don't think I did anything right, and that's probably my biggest gripe and also praise about the game. It feels like I can do it all on my own and still reach the goal. The main problem is that over half the time, I feel like I'm missing something, and I end up getting lost or confused, or I think I missed an ability or a button, but on the other hand, I got my way up to the top and cheesed it all the way through. And if I didn't end up somehow breaking it, then there needs to be a more clear way of telling me that I'm doing it right. It's a weird balance on this scale, and it keeps tipping back and forth a lot between thinking I'm a god and that I am completely bypassed the game like 3 times, and on the other side, almost instantly regretting it because I have no idea where I am or if I'm doing anything right at all. Like, all I know is up. And up is where we're going. We climb straight up into the owl's boss fight, and to that we close this chapter 4 of me bitchin' and straight to... So later on in this video, I want to talk about a key element in this game that I completely missed, and I blame everyone in this situation, even me. But I'm going to complain about the boss, the way I fought him and not the way I was supposed to fight him. See, it's the typical 1, 2, 3 fight of dodge the swipe, dodge the pound, and finally climb up to the bird and use him to blow up the bigger bird. Now, I did fight him technically the correct way, but I ended up struggling because I basically had to be on a no-hit run. And usually I don't get hit, but when he did hit me, it got really frustrating because it was pretty heavy on the damage, and if I got hit too many times, I would end up dying from the explosion of trying to hit him on my turn. And the bomb is quite painful, so if you get hit more than once at full health, it was too much of a risk. I actually did end up killing the owl once already, but I ended up dying in the explosion, and that was a mess. But after beating Burn Brains, he kinda just explodes, and we move on to... With the door now open, we move on to the final gauntlet of platforming and puzzles and more. Now, I've been gaming consistently for about 20 years now, and this was probably the most frustrating I've ever had in a bit of time. These got a little challenging for me the first time, and hell, even getting to the tower itself was a challenge. Also, this fucker acting like a ninja out of nowhere. We get into the tower and move on forward, encountering a new type of enemy that I like to call spring chickens. They become your personal launch pad to help you traverse the tower. The challenges start small, but they do get more advanced as we move along. As the rooms become somewhat more difficult, we land ourselves in this fantastic room. A simple room with a dirt path in the middle, dirt on the walls, and a bomb chicken, all to help you guide yourself to this carved section on the left to help you get up to the final rooms. On paper, it's really easy. You just climb up, drop the dirt, flip him, grab the bird, explode the wall, and jump to the next section. But this room was confusing without the proper knowledge of a certain move Seve could do, and I just ended up doing this.
Oh, you did it! How the fuck?
I don't think I was supposed to do it this way.
I think you are not supposed to do it like that.
And yeah, it worked until the exact next room after you climb up and you do some more parkour and Kidz powers, you get to this simple little room and it broke me. I was stuck for so long that I gave up and looked how to do it. And within 5 seconds, I find out why everything else was so difficult. What? Wait, what?
Wait a
That
minute.
was never explained to me.
You could have launched the bombs the entire time?
Was that ever explained? Was
I
that
don't
ever
know.
a thing? I looked up a goddamn YouTube tutorial and I was like, oh, I wonder how he's doing it. And he's just... Okay. But I'm shooting it out like shit, so maybe I gotta charge it up more? Maybe I gotta... The owl boss, the crack in the wall, and now the 4 little switches. You could shoot the birds out of your horn this entire time. I was furious. A simple mechanic that was introduced never, because the game was like, hey, you're going to find out by reading the post-it notes. And I didn't read them because I thought I already get it. But yeah, I know, it's my own damn fault for not reading it, but like at the same time, as far as I've seen, that was the only mention of the power. After you shoot the 4 triggers, a tiny door opens up for you to dig through to the final trial. It'll have you climb up spiders, tight platforming that requires somewhat good timing, trials through fire, and a recreation of 9/11. You gonna blow up? Hit the towers!
Not again!
And you eventually get chased by this nightmare sock that,
Oh,
yeah, that's a...
my cum sock! It
Oh, dude, I thought it was that, like... No, not Peter Griffin, I'm sorry. That, like, sped up gerbil laugh or whatever. I thought that's the noise that he was making. But after doing some Looney Tunes shit to the sock, you move on to the final little spinny thing where you unscrew the T-posing platform and you just take a giant jump up to the top. And hopefully you don't miss, where you find your sister one last time to talk to. Which, I do find this a little bit weird. She mentions briefly that if you got distracted by nachos, you'd be too comfortable in the dream and she would never see you again. And that also your corn powers would grow weaker until they're gone. But like, what's the story behind this? I've spent multiple hours playing this game and I still don't know. Are we siblings or am I just stupid? The only bit of evidence that I could find is Seve briefly mentions that they're both developmentally mutant goats that don't have corn powers. They both rock the Linkin Park looks and they both have one horn. Only a fool like me would suggest that they are related, but at the same time, I can't really see anything else. So are they separated? Did Dad take one of the kids in the divorce only to be connected with these dreams? What in the world are corn powers? Find out. Maybe. I don't know if there's gonna be more. Twitter and the devs don't really talk about the future. Granted, this game did come out just October, so maybe we'll get some news. And if we do, I'll be watching it like a hawk because this was genuinely one of the most enjoyable experiences I've ever had. And through the sweat and pain and falling over and over and over and over and over again, I want to do some more. But now, we just gotta find out what's behind this door. Apparently there's 6 levels, but exploring around I can't really find more XP, so I'll just have to see what's up. I guess I'll keep checking about.